So for all this, use the notes that we just took. Type that yourself out. So you can look at the chart and find this symbol, and if you're not sure what this stands for, look it up. So what does this symbol stand for? Greater than. Okay. So we're just going to say X is greater than. And actually write it out. Verbal means in words. And we're going to keep it neutral. So we can put negative. That's fine. You don't have to write out the actual word negative. But it's just, for this part, from this column to this column, it's just making sure you know how to translate the symbol to the right phrase. Okay. And again, if you're not quite sure about this, think these as the ends of a number line. Okay. This symbol right here points to all the greater numbers. That's why we use this symbol for greater. This right here is pointing to all the smaller numbers. That's why we use that symbol for less than. Okay, and go to the graph. Find -2, that's the first thing. Gotta go to the right number. There's -2. Is it an open circle or closed circle? Open, because -2 is not an answer. That's just the start of the answer. Does it go to the right or left? The right, where all the numbers are greater than. Right? So -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the fractions in between them are all bigger than -2. That's what this graph means. This is kind of saying numbers this way are bigger than or greater than -2. So not too bad, right? But believe it or not, this open-closed circle thing can drive you nuts if you're not careful, especially on Khan Academy. You don't want to rush through and just say, "Oh, it's easy," and you start messing up on open-closed. You got to be careful. All right, all values less than -2. All right, all values or answers less than -2. Kind of like the counterpart to the one above. So again, just making sure you know that less than is the symbol. So open or close? Open, right? We haven't even had any of these have equal to it. Equal to? It says on your notes. That's where you get the close. Down. Let's just go through the graph first. So notice how this is less than. Down. And the line, right? That line means equal. Reminder right there. Top part, pink, that's the less than. This little line underneath, that means equal. So we're going to go to -2. And this time it is a closed dot. Green. Closed dot because of this part right here. This green right here. The line underneath. That's what makes it closed. And it goes to the left because of the symbol on top. Smaller numbers, smaller. And this is hard to guess. So if you're kind of like, I really get this, but I can see how it's a mistake can be made. If you're doing like 20 of these, yeah, it's not difficult. It's just you have to go be careful. Use your notes, things like that. And of course, we can write out this, all values. All values less than or equal to -2. Yeah, you can put X or numbers. Yeah, I'm just using a variety. So just to highlight here, the less than. Okay, that's what this is right here. That's what it is on the graph. Okay, equal to, or equal to. That's from this part, and that's what the solid dot is. So there's two parts. When you have the equal to, there's two parts, either on the words, on the phrase, a mathematical sentence, some people call it, and then on the graph as well. Okay, let's look at the back and look at some that you have to use the reversibility on. Yeah, like right here. So, which direction does this go on a graph? If you're not sure, kind of dissect what this means. 3 is bigger or greater than all our answers. So what directions are our answers relative to 3? Yeah, if 3 is bigger than all our answers, that means all our answers are going to be smaller. So the same thing would be this, reverse it. It's a lot easier to understand. Yeah, all our answers are less than or equal to 3. So what you might get good at, is reversing it, but you might look at this eventually and say, okay, the graph is going to be at 3. Right? It's going to be closed circle because it's equal to, and it's going to the left. Even though the symbol right here is greater than, the graph is to the left. Both of these have the same graph. This is the graph for both of them. But when the variable is on the left, right here, it will match the graph. That's the advantage of having the variable on the left. That's when the inequalities direction here is the same as the direction of the graph. But if the number is on the right-hand side, it's the opposite. I suggest just any time the variable is not on the left, switching it around. And is there another one on this side? Yeah, last one. So the graph for this is what direction? This is to the right. Think about it. -1 is less than all our answers. -1 is smaller than all our answers, which means all our answers must be bigger than or equal to. And when you flip it around, that's when it matches the graph. Only when the variable is on the left will the inequality sign and the graph direction match. So just get used to kind of flipping around as needed. Most of the time you don't. If you look at all the others, there's one more on the front you have to flip around. And you'll never probably take words and write it like this. You're probably never going to do that. You're probably going to just start off with X on the left and put the number on the right with the right inequality sign. Okay. So that's about it. We have 15 minutes. You have less than 15 problems to do. So as long as you do about a problem a minute, you'll probably finish. But if you take breaks, stop, leave class, and things like that, that goes against you. So you need to make sure first you get your work done, okay? Which I'm sure you can. So just go ahead and get started.